technically still alive.
So while you couldn't kill the child right off, you could still have them be used.
Gotcha.
We talk about children dying, they talk about orgies. Just gonna say.
Okay. So when they get to the graveyard, they're told that people get assigned to different things. Do y'all think that Connor will follow the rules or versus morality?
Like whenever he's in the graveyard. I don't know. Going into it, I feel like within this chapter, I guess. I don't want to say anything that's in the next chapters. But I think whenever I was reading that, I definitely thought, like, he's been changing a lot throughout the book. Like, Risa's kind of, like, tamed him a little bit, and, like, he's learning how to control himself. And whenever he, like, punched that guy in the face to get away from Roland so he wouldn't, like, fight him or die in the crate, I thought that that showed a lot about, like, his kind of transformation.
And I feel like that ever since Risa had that talk with him, like, he's been, like, rethinking, like, instead of acting before he thinks about it, he's been thinking it through and, like, not being as
instinctive, yeah.
But you can also look at his character. He doesn't do well with authority and like a large amount of people. He could rebel.
That's true. His past definitely, he has quite a past of rebellion.
Okay, and then the same question, but about Roland. What do you think?
I think he's going to climb his way to the top.
I actually have, like, psychologically profiled Roland, and it was pages 150 to 151, and it was whenever Roland was, I don't know how you'd really call it, whenever he went into the bathroom with Risa, then he, I thought that just really showed kind of, I don't know, they've been building him up as some big character, I feel like, but that showed a lot of, I guess, like, immaturity, I thought. Because it was kind of, not necessarily a pointless attack, but I thought that it was more so just at bullying and trying to get under their skin than really for any purpose. And so, like, I feel like they're kind of reading too much into him as a character. I don't know that he's really going to, I don't know, like, I feel like he's going to continue to be, like, a main character, but I don't know that he's going to be, I guess, I don't think he thinks things through. I think they're giving him too much credit, I guess.
Well, but it also states in that chapter that he's very manipulative. And the strategy that was behind it wasn't so he could have his way with Risa, it was so he could irk Connor into fighting. And the strategy behind that, it's a game of chess, just with human lives.
Yes.
And the fact is, Roland's playing this very well. He's not this big oaf that we want to see the bad guy as. He's an intelligent, planned, manipulative young teenager who right now has the upper hand. And I think as the story progresses, we're going to see how much more power he can get, at least until Connor stops him or he finally wins against Connor.
And in that, like, not to say that I guess his, like, attacks are pointless, but that they really, I don't know, they just seem like a middle school bully to me instead of someone who's, like, I guess, instead of more behind the scenes, he's, like, he puts his plans out there and it's very evident what he's trying to do. He doesn't try to hide it at all. And I don't know, I think that that's a fault in him because I feel like later on they're going to be able to really get him at his own game by working behind the scenes because it's quite immature, I would think, to be so, like, pointedly attacking someone when if he was to do it quietly and just, like, through thinking and stuff like that, I feel like he would have a better effect. But I don't know.
Yeah, because his attacks are always like bumping into Connor, so Connor knows. Like that's kind of like you said, immature.
But it's in a way subtle. It's the way you wouldn't catch. None of the others see this threat. It's
No.
something that nobody else is seeing. It's subtle and it's in its own way secret. Because he can make that bump seem, yes, it was, maybe it might be immature, but it was planned and it was manipulative. The other students may not see it, the other unwinds just think daily life is going on. But Connor and Roland both know it's a strike against them.
And like the fact that Risa was so loud, like it says that she screamed, and we see her kind of not really, I wouldn't say being necessarily like a wallflower, but we see her like watching what he does and processing through everything that he's doing. And I don't know that that's really something that he's intending on. Because I don't, like, although his attacks are personal, she's noticing them. So I don't know.
I feel like that also comes with her experience from being in the ward, because she did have to watch and know everything to survive.
She's very, I don't know, she's very, I guess, like, intelligent, I think. Not necessarily just book smart wise, but as a person and surviving, because she's so, like, she really knows how to survive. But.
You know how it said that Connor and Risa are rolling up, but he doesn't quite know that yet? Do y'all think that Roland will figure out what Connor and Risa's plans are, like keeping Connor from fighting back? I think that he's gonna figure out what they haven't done that much, kind of.
I think that there's going to be a confrontation eventually.
I personally, like, saying that, like, I think that they're giving him too much credit, so I don't think that he will figure it out. Because I think that they're being a lot smarter about the way that they're gonna, like, not necessarily attack, but, like, get under his skin.
And there's evidence, though, that Connor and Risa already know what's going on with Roland. And that's why Connor didn't, he fought his instinct of knock the hell out of this guy. Because, yes, he may have deserved it, but he knew what it would have started had he done it then.
Do you want to read your other ones?
Yeah.
And then I'll read mine.
So I did Sai Tai as one of my characters. I found him very interesting. It's pages 191 through 192, and basically that's whenever Lev and him are with his parents, and I think that really spoke a lot to what unwinds go through, and not necessarily reading into Sai as much as it was Tyler, and basically, I mean, I'm sure everyone kind of got this out of it whenever they were reading, but about how like Sai's really aware of reality and he knows exactly what's happening. Like he's trying to tell Tyler that, like he is unwound already. Like it's nothing that can stop that. Like he didn't make it, and Tyler is like clueless to that. He's really like naive to that because it's just that one part of his brain. And so like internally, then that's a huge conflict. And if you think about, like I was trying to think in like the bigger picture with the amount of unwinds that have already, or amount of people that have already been unwound, if each one goes through that. Like that hand in the beginning, you see the hand that does the magic trick. It's almost as if they do really have that mind of their own still. But it's like they're kind of in the dark to what is really happening because they are not happy because they know that it's not, something is obviously wrong. And so basically just going into Tyler, I just said that it really gives us an insight to kind of like the heart of what a like rebellious unwind really is, like crying, like not wanting his parents to unwind him, and he was like so desperate in that. And I think that really kind of gives us maybe what Connor and the other ones are feeling, but especially with Connor because he comes as so strong and just like he would never want to talk to his parents again. But I think that deep down, like he would be in the same situation. Like if he could tell his parents not to, he would have none of the problems that he's experiencing right now. And then I did Lev, and it was 161, and that's where he hit the guy at the jewelry shop in the head, and I was just like, I love that part. I thought it was so funny, because we really see Lev kind of evolving from a tithe into an unwind, and I think he's really finding himself through this. Like he kept his values, obviously, because he only took like what the bracelet was worth, but he is still like a survivor in this. Like he's gonna do whatever it takes to survive and to keep sci-fi alive. And so I think that him as a character, he's not near the boy that he was before, but now he's kind of like that man has to grow up really fast. But I think now he couldn't consider himself an unwind because of the things that he's done, and I don't think he really is that pure anymore. Like he's kind of going against God, like he's blaming Pastor Dan and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of veering away from what his parents taught him and like making his own values and stuff like that. So that's all I have.
I was the role of new critic, and I have on page 166, 176, which is a big chunk. But it's whenever Hayden was in the box with Connor and the other boys, and he just continues to bring his hand back and forth across the flame again, close enough to feel it, but not close enough to burn. But it's not just his own hand now, it's everyone's, and it takes Connor off. And I feel like this section asks deep, thought-provoking questions that nobody wants to answer about unwinding. What, Jacob?
I can't smile, Kaylee. That hurts me.
Considering he's the last of his race.
I would also think like he were dying, and then on page 192 to 193, I have Lev screaming at Tyler's parents, demanding that they tell him they won't unwind him, and he bears witness for Sai. And I just have a few questions. What happens to Sai after? What happens to Tyler? Does Sai live in peace? Will Tyler always be lost?
I'm like, no, I don't wish this on me.
I had that question too. Do you think that like fixed him? Do you think that he's gonna like
Because he's, his dad's or whatever, he was like, everything's okay now. But like, is it really okay, or is it just,
is he gonna go back there in a few months?
come back?
Because although, like, obviously he thought he's been searching for Jocelyn for so long, just trying to get back to his parents and to that treasure. And so, in that, like, how is Tyler, I guess, not gonna kind of, like, come to realize that he's no longer in Joplin and he's not with his parents, and, like, his actions are very different from what he would be doing otherwise. Because, I don't know, I feel like you just can't keep someone in the dark like that for that long.
Even though you're between 13 and 18, you know what I mean? I wonder what happens. Is there special rule for that?
So, an interesting point made earlier is that really it's just about the idea of mass production that really caused the situation. And even though we have
Brief intermission while we write.
what is the 1 out of 7?
Jacob, do you have something to read?
That's the date.
Oh,
I put it
Just
in.
wondering.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, but that would be immoral, right?
tries to be either an individual or
You don't have to. I mean, they don't.
What page is that on with Tyler? Do y'all know?
Tyler, it's 192 to 193.
Okay.
Each person has to do what's right, right? So right, but under humanity and society, nowadays that's and I think probably it's
May I speak now, please?
It's not as much as a human trait.
I would say if you were a governor and I would rather you want the person's donating rather give that to everyone else.
So, I don't think page numbers are supposed to, not just page numbers.
Oh, we need to fix that then.
I usually just do a little summary of what you just said.
Okay.
Right, yeah, and
And the
that's,
fact that maybe it's settled so much, even though he was
the parents are
15
choosing,
years.
but the person
I mean,
who is,
we don't know
person
how
who is
long the
giving away
difference
the
is
stuff.
between her fearing the
Like,
left.
my arm is gonna be given to you via my parents.
Like, text
Did
out.
they wanna give it away? Probably not. Unless, you know, they deliver the actual.
We're sorry, paper just got handed back. We've got more things to write now.
We're giving you a play-by-play.
Intermission.
Is the book you live in?
Oh, we're giving a playback. Kaylee is shuffling papers. Kaylee is writing down.
If you had used the paper, maybe that would be different.
Did they ever mention like the left?
All three of them now, right?
And so it lasted longer than it did. So they're looking at
Maybe later.
It's not like it.
So
It's not, it wasn't.
political leaders
If,
died.
there's a difference, because they tell you that you're still alive, right? So therefore, to make an accurate analogy, you need something that is still alive to be giving to you in order to make an accurate analogy.
This is where we went back.
But it's dead now. The law states that they're still alive, so therefore,
Or I
an
would even
accurate
say,
analogy
not
means
even
that
that,
they're still
I would
living.
say Adam worse than this can go.
That's the after.
Like, can you say?
There's Hitchhiker's Guide to the
How do
Galaxy.
you know that?
No, but it says by the law, it says
Hold it.
Okay.
Lightning doors and everything.
They had lost their ability to stand because of the war.
There's a
It's not the same, then they started calling it
but it's
because Ford maybe provided.
it's called the exact waterways and states. And then there's the last one. The last book he wrote was mostly.
And see, that's a point behind
Just a
it.
check mark, Greg.
Yeah, but I just made so much too.
That's why people are vegetarian. I mean, everything that you're saying does have a point. And I'm not disagreeing with you, just the fact that my parents I would rather donate it to her by your own free will. This person, she is between ages of 13 and 16 or 18 years. And if she willingly wanted to give me like some.
Okay, we're gonna start talking again.
Intermission done.
There's difference.
Okay, moving on to
The cow.
how Tyler side
Does the
left.
cow do anything? Does the cow contribute to society? Does it contribute to society?
Okay, you know how at the end Lev like runs off into the woods to like run away from the woods, but runs off to run away from the
Obviously not,
police or whatever.
it doesn't matter. The humanity society and the animal. That's like
If they question Cyrus now, if they'll turn him in to the cops, or do you think he'll do his
But
hardest
no,
to
it's not.
protect him?
I think that because, I mean, obviously, Sci-Fi wouldn't have gotten to Joplin without Lev, that he's, like, that'll be kind of something that is really personal and really meant something to him, so he's going to protect him. And, I mean, really, in all honesty, what did he do wrong? Like, he fixed the situation, so.
And really, what does it matter if he talks to the cops? Because really, he doesn't know where Lev's going. Lev doesn't know where he's going. All he knows is his name is Lev, and that he was a tithe, and now he's on the run.
I
That's
think that they've like bonded because he was his witness and
sure,
he
but
knows what he's going through more than anything anyone else.
he's still, even if he tells the police what he knows, what is it going to give them to find Lev?
And plus, I feel like the police would be a lot more, I guess, like adamant about finding an unwind rather than a tithe, just because a tithe isn't going to be as much of a problem because he's not necessarily like on the run anymore, because the police don't know that he's kind of like changed over into that unwind state.
Now,
Nobody else is looking for him. Like
yeah,
Pastor Dan made sure that nobody else knew he was gone.
they all think he's been unwound.
So really, who is he anymore?
I think it's just more
It's
like.
not productive in society.
And
It's really
Well,
not.
yeah,
It is not by its own will. Not by its own will.
It was a long introduction.
That really was.
No, she is productive to society.
Now that
She
she
still
has, like,
contributes to society.
all have the skills well, not really the skills, but then he's like learning and teaching himself how to live on his own, do all the things that, like, how do you
It actually it makes you remember lots of things.
He's got the lessons sci-fi taught him.
And do you think he'll like meet up with some, like, if he finds somebody else, do you think he'll find somebody else, or do you think
I think
throughout the
it's
rest of the book he'll
totally
be on his own?
having an analogy for that is so dependent on
I think that Lev, like the fact that he found sci-fi and stuck with him for so long, like he could have done much better things than walking down a train track. Like, I mean, he didn't really have a destination, but he just wanted to be like with people. And I think that shows a lot about his personality, that he's probably going to try and find like something or someone to be a part of, because he's not really the kind of person that can just be alone. And
Needs a purpose.
yeah, and I mean, his entire life has been
okay, what if
like he's been living for something, and so the fact that he's not living for anything anymore, I feel like he's gonna try and find that.
Now, so like, he didn't really have a purpose to go to Joplin, but that was like kind of served as his purpose. Like, I'm gonna walk on farm and get to Joplin. Now I feel like now that he didn't have a purpose to go
Something else. Because he lost himself whenever he lost being a tithe. And he's kind of, not in such a big sense, but kind of lost himself since he's lost sci-fi. Oh gosh, so.
Amazing conversations going on. We have 3 minutes. We need to start wrapping it up.
Jacob?
Oh, Jacob's gonna talk? Okay.
it's not anyone's sole purpose? What do you want to do?
You know, we've talked a lot about sci-fi. I have him too, but I'm going to do my other one. Going back to what Kaylee said on the boys being locked in a crate. The boys, when they're being transferred to the graveyard.
You do lots of things to the society. You like doing art, you do art, but it's society. You could write books.
No, Kaylee did not, just so this tape knows, Kaylee does not lock the boys in crates. On pages 164 through 176, we see how, as they're being transferred to the graveyard, the unwinds begin to talk in their crates and begin to ponder really philosophy and what is life. And I was supposed to come up with a theme statement for this overall passage, and mine was, even in our darkest times, we can still ponder. And also that sometimes we must examine our lives, especially when we face dark times.
Do we turn this back in? Like, we got it back, can we turn it back in? I'm gonna go in.
Not necessarily. It's also an
I think that this was a good time.
How dare you?
End it?
It was a good time.
and she still has other things to
Well, it's been fun, Miss Henry. Hopefully this will be of some help to you, and that the audio was good.
And not just Jacob, because he's the only deep voice.
My voice is terrible on